Hey, I'm Hayden with Red's Fly Shop, and I'm super excited to be tying this month's bug of the month because I love tying. I probably tie more than I fish. And it's super fitting because this month is a steelhead bug or a salmon bug, which are my two favorite types of fish to target. So I'm super into this. We're calling this guy the Pan Handler. It's kind of like a Hobo Spey variant on a tube, which is pretty epic. And it's also weighted, which is a little bit different than your usual Hobo Spey, right? And the reason I have it weighted and on a tube is because this is you're thinking September, right? So we're thinking low water, usually pretty clear water in most places. So being able to actually drop this down into deeper pools and stuff where you're, fishing for some timid fish. You can tie this thing in a multitude of color combos, multitude of size ranges. You can really, this is, the world is your oyster with this guy. I tied it in a black and red in this video. That's kind of what I'm going to show you guys how to do. Just one of my kind of confidence color combos. But you can tie this to fit, Chinook. You can tie it to fit winter steelhead. You can tie it to target cohos, which is actually super fun on the swing. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hopefully you guys learn a thing or two and are able to go out here and stick a few fish with this thing.
All right, we're coming at you with a little Hobo Spey variant today. On a tube, no less. Coming in here with a dubbing loop right off the bat. You see I'm not starting right at the back of the tube, right? So leaving a bit of room to put a little junction tubing on there, chucking some ice dub in the loop here and spinning her up. This is gonna be a great fly for, you name it, steelhead. Most of the Pacific salmon will eat this thing. This is actually a pretty awesome Chinook pattern, especially for low and clear water when they're being a little rude, not super aggressive. To get that dubbing loop in, right, gonna go in here with a piece of red guinea. You can tie this in a number of colors. I'm doing like a red, purple, and black kind of deal. And you can see I really just preened everything back there and got it all out of my way, tying this thing in by the tip. And you want a longer stemmed piece of guinea, so pick through that pack, find a real juicy one, find one with a bunch of length before it turns into the nasty fuzzies. You can see I've stripped them off here. Making a little dubbing noodles on this, in this case, same color dubbing. You want less is more with this, right? So you don't need to just absolutely whack the dubbing on. You can see I've taken a big pinch out of the pack and I'm kind of just putting a little bit on at a time. A nice skinny body is all you really need. And you can play with distance, you can play with sizing on this. You can make this thing tiny, you can make it huge. Big thing right here is you can see I'm really massaging the fibers backwards. The feathers will have a natural kind of concave shape to them, and you want to really play into that, right? So you want to preen everything back. And nice sparse wraps. You don't need to make these super touching and super tight together. We're really trying to just cover the space of the body here, real sparse-like. So I'm gonna get this tied in, and then that was by the tip, so you kind of have a tapering, longer fibers in the front. Whack that stem off. All right, so I'm taking my marabou here, and I'm gonna tie this in opposite of the guinea. I'm gonna tie this in by the butt. So what I've done there is I've ripped off all of the marabou pieces that I don't want from the bottom of the stem. I've actually measured how long I want the fly to be in the end. So the longest fibers, the ones I'm wrapping right now, are gonna be the longest fibers on the fly, and they'll progressively get shorter. So what I'm doing here, same thing, tons of preening on this fly, just massaging everything backwards. And I'm not going to do a ton of wraps on this one. This one I'm going for kind of a sparse look, so you can see 2, maybe 3 wraps at the most here. Pretty sparse, right? We're going to get that lopped off, play with it a little bit, because why not? And then I'm going to double my flash over here. So this is going to add in strength. It's going to be a little bit easier to tie in. You can see I just took the flash boot, doubled it over, tied it on, and then you can cut it to the length afterwards. Same thing with the schloppen, tying it in by the longest end first, so butt end first. Be mindful, it's real easy to snap the tip while you're wrapping with schloppen here. So we want to be real gentle, but same thing, gonna preen everything backwards. And same thing again, just 2 or 3 wraps of this, real sparse. You don't want a ton of material, or you'll end up with a wet sock looking fly. You can obviously scale this up for bigger species, but in the steelhead sense, we just want a little bit of material here. So I built up a little head, kind of a bulkhead looking deal here. Gonna wrap it off, trap that stem again, and off with your head to the schlappen. Okay, you're gonna throw in just a little lazy half hitch and then a hand whip finish here. You don't need to be super particular about how you tie this fly off. We're gonna zap it with a ton of super glue. So just getting that secured, saying goodbye to the thread, and then we're gonna come in with our super glue. And you can really make sure you get this around the tube. Purple cone goes on. I'm gonna play with it, make sure I like it. Oh, looking nice. Epic fly, oh yeah. Pop this thing off here, and you'll see I have a ton of extra tube. That's the cool thing about tubes. I'm just gonna take my scissors here, lop it off. And I was a little ambitious, I left quite a bit. You can cut even more off. What I'll do here, put it back on the tube. You'll see why in a second. I'm gonna burn that end, make it a big gummy mess, and then slide it back on the tube, and bam, you got a spot to put your line through. So there you go. That's the Pan Handler, little Hobo Spey variant. Great clear water fly.